So in my last video, I talked about building $1 million business. And obviously we like to talk about $1 million business because it's attractive, it sounds amazing, it's incredible. Who could think you could build something like that out of your spare bedroom? But the reality is before you build $1 million business, you have to build a business. And then it's just a matter of scale, really is what it is. And I know that sounds overly simple, but first you have to get started. That's the reality. So the really cool thing is this, over the last 5 years, I've created this, along with my team, my amazing team, we've created this program we call Launch Club. And we've taken, it's a coaching program. And we've taken a lot of people from just starting out to building very nice businesses. In fact, we've had people actually go from just starting from scratch into multi-million-dollar businesses. And of course, that's not average, especially in the amount of time they did it. But because we've helped so many people go through this process, we've got all kinds of data points, and we've built up milestones, and just a lot of experience watching people and taking people and helping people go through this process. So one of the absolute first things you got to do is start building a following, because those are the folks that you're going to make your sales to. And there's all different ways to have a following these days. I'm a big fan of email because when I started out, that was sort of the only thing you could do. There was no social media. These days you can build a following in any number of channels. I still think you should drive people to your email list, but you need to build a following. So how do you, and the reality is we'd all like to have a bigger following than we've got. If you've got 100 followers, you're focused on getting to 500. If you got 500, you're focused on getting to 1,000. If you got 1,000, you're focused on getting to 10,000. But even if you have 100,000, you're still focused on getting it bigger and bigger. But the thing is you can't, a lot of people, they get stuck because they're like, I'll never get to 10,000 subscribers. You just need to get started. You need to get those first followers. And so this isn't a secret if you've been watching my videos, but I'm a big fan of publishing. Start publishing. You can pick, there's many different channels. You can publish via email, you can publish via video, you can publish YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, wherever, but you start publishing. And just get podcasts are amazing. Get a few good pieces of content out there. Actually, don't even worry about them being good. Get started and you'll get your voice and you'll learn how to make them good. But then after you get a few pieces out there, you need to start driving followers, driving subscribers. And how do you do that? Well, the way I did it, the way most people do it, is you grind. You try to find every avenue that you can to promote. And so for instance, let me give you just a real world. I have a friend he's a brewer. He's a beer brewer at one of the top breweries in Colorado here. And that's saying something because there's a lot of breweries here in Colorado. So he works as a brewer at one of the top breweries. He's also a very passionate home brewer. And he wants to start publishing about brewing. So he's got absolutely nothing going for him right now. He's got no following. He's done no publishing whatsoever, starting absolutely from scratch. So if I was him, the advice I would give would be, well, do a podcast. Get like 3 episodes out there. You can record it. You just record on your phone. It's that simple. It's really easy. Get like 3 episodes out there. And now you need to find some people that's going to listen to it. You need to start building your following. Well, this is where you start grinding. You go into, I'm sure there's Facebook groups about home brewing. I'm sure that there are Instagram channels. I'm sure there's forums. There's got to be forums. So I would start going in all those areas and start trying to be as useful as possible and build a presence. And as you become more useful and more helpful to people and build that presence, you'll start to have the social capital to start to tell people about your podcast. Now, in this case, this friend of mine, since he's actually, another great thing to do is you can go and see if you can get on other podcasts. So how do you approach someone if you've got no name, no recognition, anything like that? Well, go out there and start commenting on other channels. Go out there and start commenting on podcasts. You can actually become known to people if you consistently leave good comments on their publishing. Or in this case, this person's got an additional asset. He's actually since he's a brewer at a top brewery here in Colorado, he's actually, that's a true asset. That position gives him the authority, and it gives him positioning in the market. And so he could probably just flat out go to other podcasts and say, hey, if you're ever looking for any guests, I'm A, a passionate home brewer, and B, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a brewer at such and such brewery, this prestigious brewery here in Colorado. And very likely he'll be able to guest on these other podcasts or contribute to other channels. And so really what it comes down to when you're starting out is publishing, building relationships, and you can do that simply by leaving comments, by being a presence in different venues, whether it's forums or channels or whatever, being a presence, being a positive presence, building relationships, and just grinding away and finding where are your people, where the discussions already happen, and then go there and contribute to those discussions and become a source of good, a source of information, a source of light. And that's the way you'll start to build your presence. Then you'll eventually drive people back to your platform, wherever it is, whether it's a podcast or a social channel or an email newsletter. But that's how you'll start to build your following. And all of this is the long game. And you'll play that game for your first subscriber and your 100th subscriber and your 1,000th subscriber. And you're going to all of a sudden be that, sometime down the road, you'll end up being that overnight success that no one saw coming, just because you got in there and you started to grind. So I'm Jeff Walker. Wherever you're watching this, scroll down, leave a comment for me, and let's go get in this week.